Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Acupuncture's My Life. Now, in this episode, I would like to discuss some medical reasons as to why you can't sleep at night and why it's important that you see an acupuncturist. Now, I've said in episodes in the past that, getting a good night sleep is extremely important for your overall health. And for those that do struggle with sleep, definitely make regular wellness visits with an acupuncturist, because acupuncture is great for treating many different types of sleep disorders. Okay, but there are several medical reasons that many individuals are unaware of as to why they cannot get a good night's sleep. And these reasons can be treated with acupuncture. So it's best that you make regular wellness visits with an acupuncturist. And one of them, many of you are aware of, is urinary incontinence. Now, going to the bathroom, waking up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night can be such a pain. It can be so annoying. And many individuals are later till the last second because they're feeling so comfortable in their bed and they really don't want to get up. And then just get aggravated, jump up, run to the bathroom, and use the bathroom. And more times than not, they'll have problems falling back to sleep because they waited so long and became so frustrated as a result. Okay. Now, keep in mind, urinary incontinence tends to affect women more than men. But globally, there are millions of women and men that experience or deal with some type of bladder control issue at some point or another in their life. And these issues tend to significantly impact their overall quality of sleep. Okay. And some will, go into this little rut thinking, oh my gosh, it may be time for me to start wearing adult diapers now for the rest of my life. And guess what? I have a surprise for you. It's not necessarily the case. There's only one thing you need to do, and that is to get by an acupuncturist, get to see an acupuncturist to discuss this issue. Okay. But then there are other, proactive steps you can take, such as, let's say, reducing your intake or eliminating your intake of caffeine altogether, because caffeine tends to stimulate a person's bladder function, and it's also considered a diuretic. Okay. And I know many individuals, I'm not giving up my coffee or whatever they may enjoy that has caffeine in it, but you may want to strongly consider that. But the best move, get to an acupuncturist. See an acupuncturist right away. Another that acupuncture is great for in treating is migraines. Now, migraines has been known to keep many individuals from being able to fall asleep. And migraines can even wake you up. And there are individuals that suffer from migraines that know it's something that's hard to get rid of once it really gets started. And they know they're not going to get a good night's sleep that night. Get to an acupuncturist right away. because staying up all night only makes the migraine worse. And then not getting enough sleep can trigger a migraine. But again, some proactive steps before you make it to an acupuncturist is keeping yourself well hydrated, make changes to your diet. But this is where you need to see an acupuncturist, because you can go through an Eastern nutrition consultation session that'll help with your diet. You also want to stay as active as possible. Sedentary lifestyles do not help at all. And your acupuncturist will tell you. Another is magnesium deficiency. All right, because magnesium tends to boost a person's mood. It tends to lower anxiety and reduce stress. And it also helps with a deeper and more restful sleep. But I'll tell you this, don't run out and buy supplements. Magnesium supplements. Look to get your magnesium from the food in which you eat. And this is where an Eastern nutrition consultation session with your acupuncturist will help you so much. Because although many of you are listening to this podcast globally, studies have shown many individuals in America, they're not getting enough magnesium. And in many states within North America, many individuals suffer from sleep deprivation. You see, magnesium deficiency tends to cause muscle tension, adrenal surges, nerve irritability, and decreased production of serotonin and muscle cramps. And all of these symptoms can mess up your sleep. Okay? So it's important that you're aware of that. But understand something. Just put this in the back of your head. Not all forms of magnesium can be easily absorbed by the body. So it's best to look to do your homework or see an acupuncturist to learn of, magnesium-rich foods. Another medical disorder that can affect your sleep is circadian rhythm delay. Okay? And this is all based on, your overall alertness to body temperature. See, it goes up and down based on where you're at within your 24-hour biological clock. And this is called your circadian rhythm. And it's generally determined when a person is exposed to light. And in the lifestyles that we live today, we're always on our phones. We're on some type of laptop or tablet, or watch a lot of television. And this tends to activate a certain cell layer in our retina within the eyes, sending a signal that delays our circadian rhythm. This is why I've said in past episodes, I've stated in past episodes, put the phone down at least 2 hours before bedtime. Why? Because whether you're watching a late sporting event or your favorite show and it's running late, or you're on the phone, this is sort of communicating to your brain that the sun is still out. So it's going to make it hard for you to fall asleep, irregardless of how tired you are. Okay? Keep that in mind. Like if you know that you can fall asleep very easily in the morning, it's a sign that you have a delay in your circadian rhythm. So you know what you want to do? You want to get adequate amounts of sun exposure where you're outside. And I've said this in past episodes. At least a half hour. You'll start to notice changes in your rhythm. And again, try and avoid caffeine and alcohol and things of that nature. You definitely want to consider that as well. And then be careful of any medication you may need. And if you're on any type of meds, see an acupuncturist. Sit down and talk with an acupuncturist about the medications you're on. They may even recommend, if you remain on them, speak to your primary care physician about the dosage, possibly lowering it. Because there are tons of medications out there that affect your ability to fall asleep. Like various types of steroids, such as, let's say, prednisone, or antidepressants, such as bupropion or venlafaxine, or even stimulants such as, let me think of one, methylphenidate or modafinilin or adrenal, or even thyroid replacement medication, beta agonists or theophylline, which is used for asthma. And then there are some over-the-counter medications such as pain meds, allergy meds, cold medications, weight loss products, which contain caffeine and other stimulants that tend to disrupt your sleep. If you're on any type of medication, see an acupuncturist. See an acupuncturist right away. This is like super, 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 super important. Another is COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And it's basically an umbrella term, a medical umbrella term that's used to cover various types of lung diseases that include emphysema, asthma, chronic bronchitis, and so forth. That now, COPD can make it hard for a person to get a good night's sleep. Okay, and many COPD patients tend to suffer from insomnia. And I see this a lot at the Acupuncture My Life clinic here in New York City. Okay, and there are treatment protocols for that, to treat that. Okay, but many COPD patients also tend to suffer from obstructive sleep apnea, depression, and more. You suffer from COPD, you've been diagnosed with COPD, see an acupuncturist. And then individuals with nasal issues. There are some that want to, see a facial plastic surgeon about that. See an acupuncturist. Before you, take such a big step, see an acupuncturist. Before you purchase various devices to shove in your mouth or in your nose, see an acupuncturist. You're suffering from any type of breathing disorder. You have chronic sinus conditions. These things contribute to poor sleep. Because when you sleep, you should be breathing through your nose. Okay, more times than not, when you're breathing through your mouth, you're going to snore. And not only that, you're taking in different, what do you want to call it? Dust mites and whatever from the air, and that's not good. Lost for words in that area. But, if you're suffering from any type of nasal issue, see an acupuncturist. It's important you do so. As well as depression and anxiety. That can affect your sleep as well. Depression and anxiety, is an often missed indicator which will affect your sleep, or can affect your sleep pattern. Because there are tons of people who are depressed and they tend to experience trouble falling asleep or even staying asleep throughout the night. So if you notice sleeplessness and it's accompanied with other symptoms such as mood changes, and you've lost interest in other activities in which you enjoyed, and there's unexpected weight gain or loss, thoughts of suicide, see an acupuncturist. It's important. Sleep is important. But these are medical conditions that can affect your quality of sleep, even restless leg syndrome. I, as a board-certified doctor of acupuncture, I see many patients that suffer from restless leg syndrome. And it shocks them to realize, wow, they could have been seeing an acupuncturist all this time. This is a sleep-related movement disorder. And it'll affect your sleep big time. And the symptomology can range from, let's say, tingling and stinging and creepy crawly sensations before bedtime, periodic limb movement disorder, involuntary rhythmic movement of the legs. Get to an acupuncturist right away if you suffer from this disorder. Another is menopause, and many of you women know this. Here at the Acupuncture My Life Clinic in New York City, we see many women facing menopause. Extreme hormonal, physical, psychological changes experienced by women, including sleep problems. Because you go from perimenopause, which is a transition phase, to postmenopause, where most women report sleep problems, like to the max. And they'll include hot flashes, mood disorders, insomnia, sleep disordered breathing, depression, anxiety. You're experiencing this, see an acupuncturist right away. Okay? And make acupuncture a part of your life. It's important that you do so. Because acupuncture is my life. What's yours?